Alright, so this is going to be my Necromancer build for the Scions of Athela update 41. And it took me a long while to make this build and perfect it, and I tried a lot of things, but without further ado, let's get into it. So, I am running a Dizzy Swing build, of course, it's my bread and butter. I tried a lot of skills, but I went with Dizzy, Blast Bones, the Ghost, of course, Rally, Executioner, and the ultimate is very flexible, situational, but I do use 2H alt and I do use Dawnbreaker. I go back and forth between the both of those. The Ghost isn't flexible, but it is a flex spot. So I've ran it with or without. If you check out my streams, you can see that I do fine with it or fine without it. Keep in mind, I'm 600 CP, so results will vary. I use undo back bar. You can go with sorting board. All this build can also run sorting board, but I use an ice staff and a 2H. I feel like the magical return on the ice staff is just way more important, but to each their own. You can also run sorting board. Back bar is the armor buff, vigor, race against time, LE drain, and of course the burst heal. Now, the LE drain is also a flex spot. You can use Pierce Armor, you can use Caltrops, you can use Boneyard, you can use whatever you want, but it's flexible, so keep that in mind. We are running Shattered Fate, Death Dealer's Feet, One Trainee, and Essence Thief with Bloodspawn. Bloodspawn is a flexible monster piece. I feel like you could run almost anything here. Nibane, Balrog, any defensive set you want or any offensive set you want. It's really not set in stone. You could even run 1/1, so it's up to you. You can remove the monster set entirely and run something like Master's Dual Wield or Vate, Maul, or anything you want. Once again, you don't have to run Dizzy. Run Rending Slash or Spam with Master Dual Wield, and this build gets significantly more powerful and better. So keep those types of things in mind. The Mythic is also not set. I love Death Dealers, but you can also run Markin. You can run Slow Serpent's Coil. Just about anything you want on this build. The Mythic doesn't make or break the build. So, but I have tried a lot of sets, and Shattered is the offensive set. So I was going with a defensive set and an offensive set. And I actually decided, I know it's going to look like the audio is desync, but I'm just going through the build of this very fast. I'll catch up on everything. Don't worry, it's not desynced. It's just the way I set the video up to go through the build part fast and then explain it. But if at any point you're confused, follow me along. So I was going with Wretched and Essence. Then I tried Wretched and oh my gosh, what did I try? Kind Marchers, and I tried Stuns, and I tried every combination with Wretched, and then I finally ditched Wretched. I was like, this isn't necessarily needed. I mean, you can go with Imperial or Red Guard or any of the cost reduction races, or you don't even have to go that far. You use cost reduction glyphs and pair that with Sustain Mundus. We are running the Serpent on this. We are a Vampire. We are running Arteum Takeaway Broth. And yeah, you could make do with those type of things, or you can go the route of Wretched. So I just wanted more damage. This patch, the shields on the Sorks are tankier, the heals are tankier, man, and Necro has very bad damage passive. So we didn't want to jip ourselves, but we also didn't want to be sitting there with 0 sustain and unable to do damage to anyone. So I feel like 2 damage sets is the way to go. It's easy to stack damage, and you know, it's a lot easier. I mean, it's easy to stack sustain rather and get your damage from other places versus doing it the other way around. So I figure you want to get your damage from your sets and things, and you can use your CP for sustain. Now you can do the reverse as well, but I feel like just the sets up front, the more damage you pile in, the greater. And Stuns is also a great choice. I settled on Shatter, and Kai Marchers is also a great choice. So there's a lot of flexibility, but this is my build. This is how I want to run it. This is what I settled on. 2 damage sets, Essence, Shattered, and a defensive monster set, which could be, mine is Bloodspawn, because 2H alt can miss, DB can miss, and you know, we don't want to be waiting around the timer. This is Necro after all. Even with 2 damage sets, you know, you will probably struggle to put away some of the tankier builds. It's just the way Necro works. Now, there's a misconception this is a bad class. It's not a bad class. It's a balanced class with some things that are bad about it. So it's very balanced, but compared to everything else, it just underperforms because those classes are so great. And I wouldn't even say buff Necro. I know it's counterintuitive, but I would ask them to bring things down to Necro's level, but that's a video for another day. As for CP, I went over some CP you could have gone through. It's not really much I can do. I'm 600 CP, so use what you want. You know, we're using Dizzy, so the off-balance CP exploiter is wonderful if you can get it. Ironclad is a must. I feel like it's the only defensive CP I feel like is a must. Ironclad or Duelist Rebuff, if whichever one's more your favor or flavor. But in the red tree, you know, I just went mostly sustain. I mean, you want to be able to sustain on this class. You don't, you know, like this class, I feel I do fine with 2K recovery, but before I got used to it, man, I was running 3K. So keep things like that in mind. But that's the build. Shattered Essence, Blood Spawn, 1 Death Dealers, 1 Trainee, man. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I'm telling you, man, if you want to see me go through the motions, I didn't just quickly put this build together. I've been playing this build patch for a long time. I have hours since last patch and even before. So I have hours and hours and hours of footage on stream and videos of documenting everything I've done with this class. And what I finally settled on wasn't just a quick, you know, I hopped in and put something together and super glued it all together just to make a build video. I mean, this took a lot of work. I feel like I finally got the build, and there's more Necro to come. But if y'all have any questions, comments, anything you want to know, leave it down below. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. It's your boy KLG Ouchie. Y'all stay safe. Peace.